The night has fallen. Welcome to the world of edutales for kids. Have you ever heard of a fairy who lost her wings? Tonight, we'll journey deep into Evergreen Forest to see how one small fairy found her strength. When the first rays of sunlight peeked through the canopy of Evergreen Forest, that was when Fern, the forest fairy, woke up, stretched her wings, flew past sleepy blossoms, and greeted the new day. Anyone who had ever seen Fern would never forget her wings, shimmering as if woven from sunlight and dewdrops, delicate, yet far from fragile. Fern was the one who woke the forest each morning. She whispered to the flowers so they would bloom, gently tapped bird nests to rouse the chicks, and always reminded the wind to blow in the right direction. But that morning, as Fern opened her eyes after a sweet dream, something felt off. She turned over, stretched, and then shouted, "Oh no, my wings! They're gone." She tumbled out of her leafy hammock strung between two branches. On her back, only a cold breeze remained. Her beautiful, magical wings vanished, as if they had never existed. Fern had never walked before. Since the day she was born, she had flown freely, gliding from tree to flower, from high nests to the sparkling lake below. And now, she sat on the ground, staring at her tiny feet and sighed. Walk? I'm going to faint from exhaustion. Every step was a challenge. She tripped and fell flat onto the soft moss at least 7 times in the first 5 minutes. Ouch, she squeaked, like a kitten learning to walk. But with each fall, she discovered something new. She smelled the damp earth, the scent of mushrooms after a night's rain, the whispers of tree roots below her. Normally flying too high, she had never heard those tiny sounds before. The plop of a falling dewdrop, the rustle of each leaf. Walking's not so bad, she mumbled, beginning to curiously look around. Fern squeezed through a patch of ferns and suddenly heard a soft whimper. "I'm thirsty. I have no water. My leaves are sunburned." It was a baby tree. Fern froze. There should have been a small stream here, bubbling day and night with crystal clear water. She stumbled toward the stream bed. Her heart sank. It had dried up. No flowing water, just dry stones, wilted moss, and thirsty roots stretching through the cracked mud. Nearby, a patch of wildflowers drooped sadly, petals faded, stems limp. Fern knelt beside them and gently touched one petal. "You need water, don't you?" She grabbed a tiny seashell, scooped drops of water from a nearby tree hollow, and carefully poured them over the flowers. But it wasn't nearly enough. Looking around, she suddenly remembered a patch of bamboo roots not far away, places that often held hidden underground water after the rain. Fern dashed over, lifted clumps of moss, and found a tiny spring trickling from the earth. Thinking fast, she gathered hollow reeds and crafted a little water pipe, one end in the spring, the other leading toward the wilted flowers. Slowly, a small stream trickled through. The flowers began to lift their heads, petals softening, as if smiling in relief. "At least, I did something," Fern whispered, placing her hand on the earth. eyes closed. But what's happening to the forest? Along the path, Fern met a caterpillar named Miro, lying motionless. "Why aren't you out looking for leaves?" Fern asked. "I tried," Miro sighed, "but most of the soft green leaves are gone. People came and picked so many for decorations," they said. "Now, the trees are tired, and new leaves haven't grown back yet." Some trees are surrounded by trash. People leave chip bags, candy wrappers, soda cans at their roots. Ants and ladybugs get stuck inside. Next, Fern came across a squirrel family hurriedly packing up their nest. "What happened to your old home?" she asked. "People camped under our tree. They lit fires, grilled meat, and the flames spread. Thick smoke made our babies cough all day. Even the leaves are singed." Fern stood still. She had never seen evergreen forest, the forest she loved so dearly, so sad before. That night, Fern visited a great oak named Grandpa Oak, the wisest tree in the woods. He was so huge, over 100 bird nests rested on his branches without crowding. Fern said quietly, "I lost my wings, and I don't know what to do." Grandpa Oak rustled his leaves, each one as wide as a sunbeam. "Dear little Fern, your wings haven't disappeared. They're just waiting for you to become a true guardian of the forest." Fern replied, "But I've always loved the forest. I've never even left it." "You love it, yes. But have you truly listened? Do you know the stream is drying up, the trees are wilting, the birds are packing their nests to leave?" Fern was silent. Her eyes widened. She understood. The next morning, Fern tied her hair back with a long blade of grass, forming a little bun that looked both cool and cute. She began her mission. She picked up trash along the path, sorted it, and helped the ants carry it back to their recycling tunnels. She used vines, coconut shells, and moss to create a new water channel, bringing fresh water from a distant river back to the dry stream. She taught the squirrels to make smoke masks out of leaves and suggested the sparrows build wind filters using fallen feathers. She called the bees back by replanting the trampled flowers, using seeds the wind often forgot as it passed by. She worked all day, went everywhere, covered in dirt, her hair a wild mess, but never had she felt more like she truly belonged to the forest. One evening, as Fern was watering a young bush growing in the middle of a once dry field, she suddenly felt a warmth on her back. She turned around. Her wings, they were back, soft like clouds, larger than before, and sparkling in the golden sunset. Grandpa Oak smiled gently. "When you touch the earth, the forest touches your heart, and your wings will return." Fern smiled, but this time she didn't soar high into the sky. She flew low, close to the ground. She listened to the mushrooms grow, the grass sing, and the seeds call to one another to sprout. From then on, all creatures in Evergreen Forest lived happily, more joyful than ever before. Little wooden signs carved from bark were hung all around the forest by Fern. "Leave footprints, not trash, and trees feel pain too. Please don't break their branches." The sparrows began to sing songs about the brave little fairy, and the bees followed her wings in gratitude. Fern's story reminds us every small thing we do, like not littering, not snapping branches, and truly loving nature, is a kind of magic for the forest. Sleep well, little one, and may you dream of deep green woods where tiny fairies still quietly protect the lungs of the earth.